What's up, disc golfers? Joe here with Joe's Disc Golf, and this is kind of a different topic here. Going to do a little bit of a comparison, I guess, here, where I'm going to be looking at how, say, Innova as an organization compares to a typical MLB organization. It was a thought that kind of cropped up into my head while I had a lot of windshield time over this past weekend with a nice long drive to some family that driving with a 15-month-old. Yep, anybody who has kids, you just went, ooh, how far? How far without stopping? About 4.5 hours. With the stops, we were looking at like 6.5. It was rough. And then that was only the first stop. And then after that, we had more stops. But enough of that. I had a lot of time to think while on occasion my wife and child would sleep. But before we get into that, I need to roll that intro. All right, and then we're back. Hey. Okay. Well, it seems like the autofocus seems to be focusing real hard on the hydrogen putter by Loft. So hopefully that doesn't screw up with focus too much. But enough of that. We're getting into this. It was a thought that kind of popped up into my head that Innova seems to, over the last couple of years, where I've really paid attention to the off-season professional disc golf and all that ever since really starting up Joe's Disc Golf and Disc Golf News and Media. I've noticed that they've had some every year. It seems like there's a substantial amount that is disproportionate to the rest of the industry. Let's say with Discraft almost seeming like they're coming in about second with this, but who knows? I could do the count, but that would kind of ruin this little thought experiment here that we're doing. But just to give you a brief overview, Innova has generally 3 tiers of sponsored. So star team, top level, and then you've got the champion team, next one down. Sponsored is kind of in there, and then there's juniors, which are they're juniors players, so it's kind of a weird position. Innova seems to be the type of company that is like, here's what we offer for star, here's what we offer for champion, here's what we offer for sponsored. Take it or leave it. You know, if you have someone who comes in and has a really good year and, they come in like, hey, I did really well. And they're like, yeah, well, not that great. So for this contract renewal, we're going to think about doing the exact same thing. And if you don't like that, go pound sand. And it seems like every year someone does. Every year there's a bunch of people that seem to like, all right, I had a good time. And then we go out and they get some offers from Dynamic Disc, Discraft, MVP, Latitude, Lone Star. There's only one man who would dare give me the raspberry. Lone Star. I had to. I mean, come on, guys. Lone Star. That's an easy one right there. But we got that. They all go out there. They get a better payday, and Innova's like, hey, yeah, if you make more money going out to one of those other companies, cool, whatever, no big deal. It's almost like they've got a farm team, basically, is how I look at it. I look at it as Innova's got the full lineup of, you've got the MLB, you got AAA, AA, single A, now there's big A and little A and BS and whatever. Either way, I'm going off the old school style. AAA, AA, single A. You can kind of combine single A, like split it to basically single A and AAA, split out AA into whatever. And so it seems like the star team, that is their MLB. And then the champion team is kind of their AAA. You got guys and gals that can come up and they can play. They can bat with the big boys for short periods of time. And then whatever happens, and then they're back down to AAA ball. They don't need them right now. And the crew, the sponsor, those guys, those guys and gals, those are your single A ball players. The ones that might have a good year, they could earn their way up a sponsorship if they hit these targets. Because that's the other thing Innova seems to be doing is like, if you do X, Y, and Z, that's how you get to the next level. If you don't do X, Y, and Z, you're staying right where you're at. And if you can go somewhere else and make more money, don't let the door hit you on the way out. That's kind of where they're at. Which it just kind of made me think that they're like that, where they've got these farm kids coming up through the system, and then they go, all right, hey, all right, yeah, Arizona, you guys, Diamondbacks, you need a pitcher. All right, White Sox organization's got one in AAA. Let's make a tradesies. Even though it's not one for one, I get it. It's not a perfect system, but they are by far, MLB is by far the clearest example of a farm system. Maybe NHL is another good example too. But it just seems like that's kind of what's happening, where like they'll put some money into it, kind of the bare minimum, give you a basic sponsorship, like here's 100 discs for the year, here's some expenses, and if you do well at tournaments, you get money. If you don't do well at tournaments, you don't get money. Basically it. And then you can get you get someone out there like your average Joe Blow. Say I get out there, I'm on the sponsor team, I got my 100 discs, I'm trying to make it out there, I'm doing well, I'm starting to place in the top 15, maybe top 10, maybe get a podium finish. And Innova's like, yeah, that's cool, but you had to win one to move up, and yeah, so you're going to stay right where you're at. And all of a sudden, I've got Lone Star like, hey, you, sir, are an up-and-coming star. How would you like this big bag of money right here? And I would say, yes, I would like a big bag of money and to be able to throw my discs. Obviously, oversimplification there. But, that's kind of where that's at. Those are kind of my thoughts right there. It was just something that has cropped up into my head. A lot of windshield time, like I said, some time to think about it, and that's kind of what I thought there. How do you guys think about that? What is that? What you think there? Like I don't know. What are some of the key benefits and maybe some of the challenges for the more structured and standardized approach that Innova has taken over these last, basically since the company has existed and sponsored players, versus some more a loosey-goosey mentality of a lot of the other companies? Whether that's good, bad, or indifferent, who knows? I mean, is there going to be the guys over at Foundation talk about a bubble bursting? And, I think contracts are going to come back down to reality. I think there's more money going to players out there than should be. Not saying they don't deserve big paychecks, but I'm not sure how sustainable it is, which we'll see here in another couple years with Ricky and seeing how that goes. Or who knows, maybe we could see next year if Ricky decides to leave early, if Prodigy decides to buy him out and he goes back there. Maybe. I don't know. I think it was with Prodigy. I know or is it Prodiscus? I get them mixed up now. Anyway, so what do you guys think about that? I mean, they have a more structured and honestly, the big players that Innova needs to keep paid and satisfied are Dick's Sporting Goods and Walmart. Because if they're in there, anybody can go out there and get it. You don't know about disc golf. You don't know about disc golf shops. Maybe here, PB Sports, shout out to them. Awesome prices, awesome deals. But they are a paintball store that now sells a whole bunch of disc golf stuff. So maybe you were in paintball and now you're like, hey, this disc golf thing's pretty cool. Let's go try that out. And you pick up a couple from there. Odds are you're probably, as a brand new player, and if you didn't have anyone get you into the sport, you're probably going to Walmart. You're probably going to Dick's, buying a starter set and just being happy. So, it's I really want to know what you guys think there. I know, seems a little scattershot here, but bear with me here. Trying to get it all. I'm trying to catch up on all the news, trying to catch up on all the signings and everything. There's so much going on, and I need to get a handle on that. So that will be, most likely the next video is going to be a summary of at least one company's acquisitions, whether that is Clash, Innova, Discraft. Dynamic Discs has really just lost people, it seems. No major signings. I mean, they've re-signed people, but no new acquisitions. Thought Space Athletics, hey, who knows? But that is all I have for now. Thank you all for watching. If you get a great tree kick, don't forget to thank Treesus. And if you get kicked deeper into the woods, well, you need to repent and reflect because you have transgressed against Treesus. As always, I've been Joe, you've been awesome, and I can't wait to see you all in the next video.